I'm talking about in it. In it. Okay. In it. In it. In it. In it. All right. So much to go over as a therapist. So much to go over. Now, okay, pull on up. Like the video. Okay. Like the video. All right. Like the video. Now, I am Denise Brady, affectionately known as Dr. Denise. Okay. And this episode left me with a lot of feelings. At the very end, I had to shed a little thug tear. Okay. Maybe I fell for the BS. Maybe I did. Okay. But let's get into it. Let me do a little twerk in my seat. Let me do a little twerk, 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 twerk. Now, we gonna start with some of the BS. Okay, we gonna start with some of the BS. We gonna go through this episode. Okay, we gonna go through this episode. Now we gonna start with Mr. Christopher. Why are you attracted to dysfunction? Why are you okay with being treated terribly? Okay, why are you okay with this situation? I ask myself as a therapist, what have you gone through for you to believe this is okay? This is what you deserve. Okay? What's your relationship like with your mama, your aunties? What did you see growing up? Because this is what you saw. This is what was mirrored to you to think like, I can make this work. I can keep going. And a lot of y'all in the comments also are like, they can make it. It's just a little hiccup because y'all toxic. Because y'all are used to shitty ass relationships. I said, okay. Y'all so far deep in the toxicity, that's all y'all know. Y'all don't know healthy relationships. Y'all really don't. Because ain't no way this is the beginning. This is the beginning. There is no reason to stay. Like once we exit, try tomorrow. Okay, once we exit, there's no reason for me to continue. Okay, is a coochie that good? The grip that tight? Okay, is it that good? Because oftentimes I see, as much as I want to say he's a good man, which he is, okay, he is a good person, he is a good man. He made choices and decisions. And sometimes I wonder if he watched them episodes, then came into the villa and thought, she gonna be different with me. That was just with Jeremiah. You know who else be saying that? The women's. Okay, be thinking like, oh yeah, he cheated on his baby mama. He was a cheater. Okay, half of y'all are Cynthia's. Okay, hashtag chill. He cheated on everybody. All the wives, all the baby mamas. He ain't gonna do that to me though. He ain't gonna do that to me. And what he do? Allegedly cheated on Cynthia too. Okay? But they're trying to have a conversation. And I feel like once again we go back to active listening. He's trying. And it's interesting that when he is trying to talk to her, she cuts him off verbally, physically too. She walks off. Oh, but when she is ready to talk and he is not, that's not really acceptable. And she continues to talk. Okay. I think Chris is somebody to me who, when they get upset, they just need time to kind of like process and simmer down a little bit. He probably doesn't show it, at least on this show, he doesn't. And maybe that's, a whole nother conversation about how Black people on these shows cannot show up and be angry, upset externally. They cannot. They always have to worry about what the world's going to say, my tone, my physical presence, and the fact that he was like a 6'5" Black man. He can't show any type of anger or frustration. Or it's going to be, Oh, the black man. I'm scared of the black man. So we have that layer. Child, I thought I deleted my notes. So we have that layer of it. It's like, do I show up as myself? Am I allowed to be angry? Am I allowed to be upset? But then again, his calm demeanor really does remind me or made me think that maybe it's also that he's just somebody who needs his own time to simmer down. Don't talk to me. Let me just like sit with the shit and I'm gonna get over it. But y'all need to communicate that. Hey, I just need some time, which I think he did. I just need some time to just kind of like woosah, woosah, maybe call some of my boys, go shoot some hoops, get out of me, and then we can come back and regroup. But most of the time, y'all don't communicate that I'm upset. I just need a moment. Y'all react. Okay. Y'all react. Or you have a partner who's not comfortable with sitting with the shit that you don't want to talk about yet. And they react. And it becomes a whole bigger deal than what it has to be because y'all don't know how to effectively communicate, which we are seeing. Two people who do not communicate well. Okay. And he says, and I quote, your priorities are fucked up. Um, you want to have sex, but you don't want to kiss. But she thinks is that he does not want to, he's upset about not having PDA in public. And that to me is the difference here. They process things differently. Okay. I think he is somebody who processes things intellectually. I think she leans on more emotion. And so think about the way you communicate your needs, wants, desires with your partner. Do you know their communicative language? How they process things? What kind of learner they are? Are they a visual, auditory? Okay. Do you really know their communication style? Do you think you know? Or are you projecting your own communication style onto your partner? Because to me, the bigger thing is that why is it okay for me to be a secret? Why is it okay for us to be in the bedroom doing things, but when we're out here, it's not? It's not so much the PDA. It's like, why is this okay and not this other thing? Are you ashamed of me? Are you ashamed of me? Okay. Like, it's okay for Iris and Pepe to be around us, Taylor and Clark in the bed next to us, and we creep in and kissing under the sheets. But I can't get a peck, a handheld. And some of y'all feel like it is the judgment of the girls, the things she has been through. And Ace says something similar, which is very interesting. I just don't understand where Ace is like kind of coming from. Maybe y'all can let me know. But everyone in the villa seems like they want the relationship to work. And the way that, Ace was talking to him, it low key kind of made me wonder, do you got feelings for her, Ace? I don't know. It's just like someone made a comment the other day that they get frustrated when people play when they play Switzerland. It really frustrates them. And was Ace playing Switzerland? Okay. But everyone's like, they should be together. Some of y'all are saying y'all don't like what Ace had to say. So, it could go back to what this person is saying. Y'all got to understand Huda got shamed for kissing Chris. Then they was mad at her for it plus being her last couple. Her wanting to go slow and not kiss him in front of them is kind of valid. So I wonder if people feel like, okay, is she walking on eggshells about the way Olandria brought out that she had kissed him, the situation with Chelley? In some ways, y'all, Is she traumatized by some of the things that she has been through that she just doesn't know how to really be with him? Maybe it's that. Okay, maybe it's that. Somebody said, "Now, Chris, I like you, but you're tripping." Yes, Heather was wrong when she walked up, but she tried to talk to you, but you refused to get her perspective. See, that's where y'all wrong at. And I can tell y'all lack emotional intelligence. Okay. He's not tripping. If y'all notice, when he wants to talk, but says, I'm good. Let me just like kind of let me have my fucking moment. Let me have my moment. Okay. He didn't dismiss her. He was polite. He was respectful. But Huda cannot hold the space of, I just have to sit with this until he's ready. Person also says communication is a two-way street. Both of y'all have to communicate and understand where each other is coming from. But your comment is one-sided. You're saying it at the end, but you start with Chris is tripping. They don't communicate well because they process things very differently. Huda needs to learn how to hold the space of, I have to sit with this until my partner is ready. And Chris needs to learn how to communicate. I just need to feel this for a little bit. We can come back together and set a time. That's what you also don't be doing. Set a time frame. Give me an hour, maybe when the kids are asleep. Okay, can we come back to this, after we get off work tomorrow? But instead, things simmer. Things simmer. Okay? Ace wants them to find a happy medium, which I agree with. Okay? Relationships are about compromise and understanding one another. But hopefully you're not in a situation where one person is compromising more than the other person. Because that's normally what happens, is that one person is compromising. Okay. But at times I kind of felt like Chris was a little bit over it. You know. Now I have a question for y'all. Do y'all think that Bryan put in enough work to get the kitty cat? Is it the pressure of the show that people have to go to the hideaway and be physically intimate? How would y'all feel if people just went to the hideaway and got to know each other, talked, and there wasn't any type of physical interaction? I'm just not really sure that I feel like Bryan really put in the work to get them panties. And I hope that, Amaya didn't feel like she had to drop them panties to get him to like her. But it went very quick, and I think that there are couples who are a little bit more established and kind of have more of a foundation. Iris said this episode that she really wanted to go to the hideaway, but I think at the time that Amaya and Bryan just got together, I think Pepe and Iris had also got together. But I just wonder, y'all, do y'all think it was too fast, too quick? Okay. Now I want to talk a little bit about, I guess we'll go over to what they call it, Freak-O-Nick? Freak-O-Nico? Freak-O-Nico. I know that's probably a hashtag going around everywhere right now. Okay. Now this episode gave, oh girl, I ain't trying to be friends. I am not trying to be friends. Okay. Watching them blossom, watching Nick become more of his authentic self. This is not the Nick we got with Cierra. Okay. And I know a lot of people are like, I don't trust Nick as far as I could throw him. It's really not love. They just in it for the money. Y'all really still saying that after this episode? That they doing it just for the money? It gave, honey. It gave. I've been lusting after you since the beginning. But because of other people, I was respectful. I was respectful. And I wonder if I could find the little podcast clip that Clark and Taylor did when they actually were asked questions about um they were asked questions about Nick and Olandria in this little podcast. I had it earlier, but I don't know if I could find it for y'all. But they were asked, let me see if I can find it. No, bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. Recent. Oh, here it is. Okay, let me share this instead.
He's always told me he's been super attracted to her, but he never tried to explore it because, he was exploring Cierra and Bella, and then him and Cierra had a very strong connection. So it's just something he never explored, but he did express to me that he was attracted to Olandria. And when, when they came back from, like when they both got dumped and they came back and were sitting in the room, I was sitting next to him. He asked me like if I cared if he explored Olandria, and I was like, no, like go ahead, like I can't get mad if he was born Olandria and I'm exploring Clark, So it's just like go ahead and do your thing. So yeah, he did express it to me at that point. Yeah, he did. He's always told me he's been super attracted to her, but he never tried to explore it.
So, like I said, he had been lusting for her for quite some time. The forbidden fruit. And, there's a lot of conversations and scenes we are not getting. Y'all realize that, right? If y'all follow more than just watching the show and you're in some of these groups, you will see there are a lot of scenes that we just never got, conversations we never got. Imagine if we had actually saw that conversation. Why didn't we get that, producers? Okay. Why didn't we get that? Okay. And some of y'all are kind of feeling like producers should have gave us a longer version of the kiss that we saw tonight. But I see a lot of y'all are coming around. Somebody said, okay, all the Nicolandria fans, I'm so sorry. They're growing on me. And so is Ace and Chelley. We're going to get to Ace and Chelley too. Okay. We're going to get to them. But it was like, oh, if anybody was a non-believer tonight, he like her. He like her. He got butterflies. We never saw him really discuss having butterflies, being the way he is with her, kissing her, just having fun, enjoying it. And I would love to see like a postseason conversation about someone asking him what was the difference between his connection with Cierra and his connection with O. Why was it with O he feels like he could be more of himself compared to we got, I feel like, a tamed, maybe controlled version of Nick compared to what we're getting now. And it's so sad that like it's at the end of the season. Imagine if we had gotten this from the beginning. But I digress. Okay. But I feel like watching him, my kids play Fortnite. So watching him emote, do his little emote dance at times. Being vulnerable and that they're creating safety. Having like conversations that some people in new relationships would have with their girlfriends or just in their heads and not out loud. Watching them create the foundation of safety in their relationship, starting off as friends, discussing different things, and really just enjoying one another. Okay. Now, let's get to Chase. Okay, let's get to Chase. To me, this is real. Though I do not believe y'all met once in NYC and never again. Y'all not gonna get me on that one. Okay. But watching him throughout this episode, you saw the wall up, you saw the avoid attachment style, but you saw how Chelley was able to break through that wall by being patient. Meeting him where he is, not putting pressure on him to close off and it be forced. And so by her meeting him where he is, and I think America humbling them, to be honest, America humbling them, and him recognizing I've been hurt before, I have trauma, but baby girl, you the one. You the one that's gonna break my wall down. And I'm ready to have it come down for you. Okay? There's also a lot of y'all. Y'all have been hurt by other relationships, parents, family members, that when a good thing happens to you, your fear sets in. Sometimes you self-sabotage. And you never get the chance to experience true joy and happiness because your fear of being hurt again. Okay? I wish we could have got this all season. But egos, control, power really got in the way. And Yana might not like this, but I feel like in a lot of ways, we got our Serena and Cordell. Similar arcs, going through different situations that are not exactly the same, but also had them start to go this way. And nobody will ever be the iconic Serena. I'm not saying that at all. Okay. But I think they had similar, like, this parallel process happening in both seasons. And towards the end, they both connected and realized, you that girl. Okay. And I love how Ace went back to who he was in the beginning. Doing the little special things, the dates, the things to woo her and show her, I'm putting in effort. Some of y'all can only hope for this type of effort. The man snoring next to you ain't giving you this effort. Okay. But mom and dad go to the hideaway. And we have been talking, the last couple of videos about how Chelley did not have to give her body to get Ace. And also, side note, I never understand how people can go on these shows and be intimate with a whole green room behind you. Producers, editors, people on the, all around. Okay. Yo, intimacy is on somebody's hard drive. Okay. The sex you're having, the curls toes you're curling. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but that and then knowing that my family would be watching this too, I just don't think I could take myself there. And my I overthink. Okay, it's my job to overthink. Hard to turn that shit off. But I feel like my overactive mind would be too much wondering about who's behind the wall, the cameras, what my family think. That hard drive that has my sex on it, is it going back to somebody's house? I'm sorry, my mind just goes there. But, do we think that they're going to take it there? Or will it be more of an emotional connection where we're just going to kind of chill? Or will they, decide to move it forward in their relationship, but be a little bit more coy and private about it? Okay. But it was good to watch him do the heart, to write something down, to put effort. Okay. And they're finally exclusive. And we at this point have our only exclusive for real couple, I believe. Okay. Days before the finale. I wish we could have got this the whole season. But we're here now, that's all that matters. Now, Ace to me was dressed like, he was dressed for a bachelorette party. He knocked on the door and said, "I'm here for Sharita bachelorette party. Where's she at?" And he looks so LA with like his do-rag, his slides on, and he's so little. He is so little, y'all. Some of y'all feel like their love story is cute. I think about them telling their kids and grandkids how they met in NYC and ended up on the show together shortly after. The way the universe brings people together is crazy. Yeah, but if they had never, they met in New York and then say we do believe that they never talked again or met up again, that this is a story to tell. Somebody said we don't see 10% of what's going on with production, let alone the cast. We got no idea and acting like we know these people personally. Very possible God brought them together regardless. It was all God's plan at the end of the day. Oh, y'all feel like some of y'all feel like it was producers who brought them together, not God. Now y'all gonna argue over God bringing them together versus the producers. Oh my God, y'all got too much time on y'all hands. The universe brings two people together is an act of God, divine intervention. The fact that they met in NYC, not knowing that they were both about to be on the same show, is amazing no matter what your belief is. Y'all really gonna argue over God versus like, oh, producers. Man, people on the internet have too much damn time. Yes, he was very intentional. I'm so happy for them. He's been intentional in everything. Chelley broke down his wall. Okay, she did. Yeah, he earned that. She had him earn that. So y'all voting for them? Yeah, the effort, y'all. It lets you know the right one will. The right one will. And yeah, he said her full on name. Yeah. That's how you know. That's how you know. Now then later in the episode, Amaya and Bryan concoct this, pinky in the brain idea to have these two people go on the dock and try and work out their issues. Y'all feel like Chris and Huda are actually people who aren't playing a script in the shows. Yeah, this to me is not script. This to me is these are real life dynamics that you see in relationships. Just not hearing one another and not being able to communicate. This also shows me that when you are not healed, a good person, a good man, woman, whatever, they, them, can come into your life and your trauma will self sabotage it. Her trauma is always right there. What I tell you, a poly relationship with your trauma right here. You can't live and be happy because that unhealed bullshit is sitting. Okay, you can only twerk it so long. You can only put the cat out so long to distract from your trauma. The pussy can't you distract from trauma that much, okay? Somebody said, "Oh, that's another thing I want to touch on." This kind of reminded me. How to kiss that man. I know you're scared, but just kiss him. He looks so sad. Here's the thing, y'all. And Huda mentioned this in the episode. She's like, I'm sitting on him, I'm touching him, I'm trying. Is that what he asked for? And y'all need to stop trying to heal, fix the problems in y'all relationship through physical contact. I don't think this man wanted a kiss in this moment. I don't. And if she had kissed him, it would have reminded me once again, here you go with the physical. Distract and put a band-aid on it. Even though I do feel like when he said, I'm okay to move on, I know shit ain't gonna change. Which one you gonna do? You gonna decide, I'm gonna move on and I'm okay with that. Don't make the comment. Just like she made that little shitty critical comment of, "Ugh, he touched me with his dirty hands. He knows I hate that." They both got problems. Chris is no victim. He has stuff to work on too. He is low key passive aggressive, y'all. You got somebody who's most of the time at 100 and somebody who's passive aggressive. That ain't gonna make for no good long term relationship. Somebody said he don't give a damn. He don't. It felt like in some ways he was disassociating. Like, I'm here, I'm physically here. Words are coming out of my mouth, but mentally I'm on the court. Mentally I'm back in Asia. Mentally I'm collecting them checks over there. Some of y'all are saying he settled for what she wanted and neglecting his needs to not have any more attention. You said it, girl. He settled for what she wanted and is neglecting his own needs to not have any more tension. Good luck to that man. Good luck to that man. Okay? Because that's exactly what happened. Pay attention and clock it. Y'all not clocking it because you're too blind to your own bullshit. Okay? This is y'all. This is y'all. Okay? This is y'all. And when are you gonna learn to stop being like this? Hmm? Hmm? Yeah, they can go. They can go. And if anything, they can leave the show tomorrow. They can leave the show and try and, foster a relationship without all the lights and the cameras. But I think that's gonna be kind of hard for them because did y'all see that Huda now has 3 million followers? Huda becomes the first ever Love Island cast member to hit 3 million followers on TikTok before leaving the villa. What does that tell you? People love them a villain. People love toxicity. I think she might actually have more followers than the actual Love Island USA, at least on Instagram. Yeah, she got more followers than the fucking Love Island USA official page. So she's not going nowhere. Girlfriend's not going anywhere. Y'all want to see her get the most deals, and she gonna start to navigate the reality TV space doing crossovers. Okay? I just wonder where does having a kid fit into all this also though? Being a mama, being a mommy, mamacita. Okay, being a mamacita. Okay, so let's start to go through some of, what does America think? We go through the comments a little bit. Is Huda a professional stripper? How late are you? How late are you? Oh, you're late. I wasn't a fan of them at first, but hear me out. The letter Ace wrote to Chelley and the way she was holding her cheeks because she was smiling so hard is cute. They have chemistry. They have chemistry. Nicolandria have chemistry. I really am not sure about Pepe and, Iris. They having a good time. Pepe tonight talking about his all the things he was involved in as a child and what if this had not happened versus this. I saw something there in that scene, but enough to believe that they're gonna be in a relationship afterwards. I don't think so. I didn't see that. Okay, I did. Whoa, I tried to give the benefit of the doubt, but Nick and Olandria should not be there at all and should not win or even still be there. The things they said after Casa, then he goes back to Cierra. Both of them told Cierra they kissed. They both agreed there was nothing there, and this was a friend thing. Then couple up because Cierra was removed. WTF, WTF. They don't realize how that looks off screen, outside, and just want the money. As you have seen, though, throughout the episodes and these conversations, and even the part where I showed with Taylor, he wanted that girl. I think they were trying to do, honestly, I feel like they were trying to do what was best for what they thought everybody else wanted. I really do. And then once, Taylor chose Clark, that door was pretty much closed in front of America. Cierra got kicked off. The pressure was gone to do what was best for everybody else. The pressure was gone. So now there's nothing in our way. I don't have to creep. I don't have to look at you from a distance, knowing like, girl, I want to kiss you. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be with Cierra. Let me look this way. Don't look that way. That's to me what happened. But yeah, I do think there's chemistry there. His family is really rooting for them. I'm curious to see tomorrow um, if both his parents and his sister come, or just the parents, and how receptive in these conversations are. Because I feel like they will probably be limited in how much they can discuss and talk about of what they've seen in the whole Cierra situation. So it's going to be heavily edited, y'all. Heavily edited. So I'm also guessing that if they're going to meet with the families, I wonder if the family will stay in Fiji until the finale and they all fly back together. That would be kind of interesting too. But after this episode, you can't sit here and say you don't believe that there's something there. That's all cap. That's all cap. Did they show well, they showed their little conversation. He seems like when she's talking, he's actually listening. I know y'all say like, yeah, of course everybody listens. No, they don't, y'all. Half the time when your partner is talking, you probably not listening. They're not listening to you. And another thing is like she allowed herself to be vulnerable. We have seen her all season kind of like, hold it close to the chest. But there's something about Nick that just like I think has that melt away and just allows her to just be herself, be authentic, and have natural just conversations with him. Freak-O-Nico. Yeah, the chemistry is crazy. Y'all really mad that production cut the kiss. Somebody said Olandria is strict, Nick is silly. She's a planner, and Nick is spontaneous. They would make a great balance. Yeah. My winners. But who are y'all voting for? Hmm? Who y'all gonna vote for? Where is the and what y'all think of this season, y'all? Oh, we can't end without y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for our heels? Okay. The millennials know what I'm talking about. Gen Z, y'all don't. Okay, millennials, step up. Okay, they bring back the heels basically. Y'all gonna be here on Sunday? Y'all want me to recap the episodes? Her hair looks good. I wonder if she got tracks though. Are y'all ready? This is what happens when you bring a bunch of people together who are not influencers. How and I can't remember this random guy's name. I'm gonna show him in a second. Why are you not showing him? Guess he wasn't that special. But the random guy on here, I just wonder out of everybody last season, how did he get chosen? What is his name? They're gonna show him in a second. Not him. Not Kenny. She got like a blowout. Where he at? Okay, y'all know who I'm talking about though. I was wondering how to out of everyone who got chosen, him. Why did they choose did he even leave the show with anybody? And what is his name, y'all? I guess Rob was like, I'm not doing this shit. Like, this ain't for me. I'm going back to my regular life. Oh, Connor. His name is Connor. Kendall, I kind of get because they were probably thinking the girl that he left with, she was going to be willing to do the show and they were going to have like the drama with them. But I'm guessing she was just like, F this too. Kendall always comes off very thirsty to me. But it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Okay. I want to know, who are you guys voting for? Who are y'all faves? Okay. Who are y'all faves? I thought they had like the final four thing up here for voting, but I guess they don't. I guess they also did the phone call.
Went into the villa. We had them draw who they thought they were going to meet in there. So let's go ahead and show them the drawings and see what they're looking like. Clark, are you ready to see who Taylor thought he was going to meet?
Let's see it.
You're like, this better look like me, huh?
We're finna see. Oh, wait.
You know, let's talk about the After Sun for a quick second. I know this video is kind of long. Why don't they just have Chelly host After Sun next season? My first thing was like, have PPG do it, or at least have Serena and 2 out of 3 girls do it. But maybe their schedules are a little bit too busy. But they need to go back to the drawing board and really rethink doing After Sun because it is boring, but I think there's potential. They always have Seeley on there as like a sidekick, but why not just bring her on full time with a co-host? I think somebody from last season can probably co-host with her. Give us exclusives. But there's potential there. Maybe even go into the villa and do things with the cast. But they can do something with it. It's not a done deal, but it's just boring. But Sally, they have her on all the time. Last episode they had on Deb. I was like, why is Deb here? Was somebody not available? Okay, y'all really needed somebody. Okay. This is definitely giving Spice Girls. But let me know your thoughts, guys. We are down to the last couple episodes. Freak-O-Nico. He seems very happy, y'all. He seemed really happy. I just don't know. I don't know. Pepe is kind of quiet. Maybe he really does like her. But, you know, let me know you guys' thoughts. We have a couple more episodes left into the finale. Who are you voting for? Who are you rooting for? All right. But I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you like, you subscribe, turn on the notifications, hit the like button. I'm sure at this point there are a lot of people in here, and we should have the likes matching the chat. Okay? Let's connect it. But I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.